I still get nervous for every show. I get nervous. I research guests. I look into the background of guests. And if I'm honest on that, apart from your Instagram and your awesome YouTube, which is one of the most motivating YouTube pages I've ever seen, I couldn't find much about you. You know, to the point, apart from the Iron Wolf, I don't even know your full name.
Yeah, so my name is Artur Shvartsberg. You probably won't find much about me because I never had like social media or any like platforms until I started doing this stuff. Because that just wasn't, it's not my style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So I was never like really put out there. Nor did I ever have a need to.
Yeah. But what's your background? Where are you from originally, and where's home?
So I was born in Russia, and I came to America when I was 7 years old, and lived in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents emigrated to the United States and grew up in the city. And I consider New York home. That's when people ask me like, where are you from? I usually say New York, because I lived most of my life over there, and I really don't remember a lot of things from growing up in Russia.
What was it like growing up as a kid in New York City?
It was very interesting. So I lived in a very mixed neighborhood. There was a lot of Russians, Italians, Polish, Eastern Europeans. It was just like a melting pot of culture, which is New York really is.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a lot of supervision growing up as a kid, so I kind of started figuring a lot of things out on my own. And I didn't go down the right path. I got into a lot of trouble as a kid, to doing like just, like skipping school, getting into fights, like, vandalism, just like all the minor stuff that kids run around without supervision. And I just ran around with a bunch of Russian kids that also were kind of in the same boat, immigrants. We kind of like, stuck together.
Yeah.
And we just kind of had fun in a way, but we weren't doing the right things. And it's not, and I'm not glorifying it. And it's nothing that I'm proud of as a kid, but I was very mischievous. And I was always looking to get into something and see, this looks fun. Let's see if we could get away with this.
Yeah. Was there did you ever mix with the law? Did it get that bad, or?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had a couple of encounters
What happened?
in my teenage years, but nothing too crazy. Knock on wood, that I kind of started turning my life around a little bit, because I started seeing that some of my peers weren't going down the right path, and some of them got arrested, and one got hurt like really bad in a fight. And I kind of started straying away from that stuff, and I started realizing that I need some kind of discipline in my life. And that's why I started looking towards the military, because in a way it was a way for me to get out and also have an experience where I could have that discipline structure that I really needed in my life, and I wasn't getting.
Yeah. And were you running about with a lot of older kids, or were they all sort of your age? Was there a leader? Was it a sort of gang mentality that you were in, or what was the sort of structure?
It wasn't a gang mentality, but we were all about the same age. There was a couple of kids a few grades older than us, but nothing too significant.
Yeah.
In age, 2-3 years apart, but everybody with the same dumb mindset.
Okay. And before we get into sort of how you got to the military and went through that, and into the fitness, the high standard that you're at now, where are you right now? Where are you?
I'm currently in the Middle East right now.
On active duty, or what are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah. I'm on active duty.
Yeah, so you're in the heart of it, and all the videos you're putting out at the moment, is that just in your dorm room, and just when you have time you'll put the videos out, and the sessions and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, they're very crude. Definitely don't have a lot of really good production value, but the content is pretty good in the videos. Yeah, they're all done. They're all done here. Whenever I have some free time, and I try to, record something and get it up. Right now, it's extremely challenging because I'm doing the consecutive 31 days of training.
Yeah.
So I feel obligated that I have to put a video up every day to kind of, set the example since I'm the one that initiated this thing. So I got to hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
And show people that, hey, I'm doing it just like I said I would. Otherwise, it's not worth it to me.
Absolutely. Explain what you're doing at the moment. Explain 31 days of what? Because I know what it is, but.
Yeah, so I just made a challenge for the month of July. It's 31 days of consecutive burpees. I put the numbers 100, 200, 300, and 500. I don't know why I skipped 400, but it just didn't seem like 400 never gets no love. And any kind of burpees you want, you can mix it up. And some of the rules are, if you start the challenge, you have to finish the challenge. You cut out all sugar, you cut out all alcohol, and the fourth rule is that I wanted people to continuously tag me in their progress as they're going through the training, in a way to hold themselves accountable, and at the same time, so I could share their stories with others and help motivate others when I share them doing the training, because it's contagious. It's very contagious, and it makes you want to train when you see others training.
Yeah, you've got a really strong following. You know, I do follow you. I'm not currently doing your challenge, but the people that I see that are doing it, you're reposting, you're sharing all their stuff. I mean, they're getting after it. They're committed. Do you recognize a lot of the same people every time you put one of your challenges up? You've got a real core following.
So there are some people that have been following me since like day one, where I didn't even have 100 subscribers, and it's good to see them. They're still there, and there's constantly new people, and it's either by them sharing the challenge or word of mouth, or they're getting their friends in. I get a lot of guys from the military, from all militaries from around the world. A lot of guys that do combat sports. To I think one of the oldest guys, he's like a 68-year-old retired Marine that's doing the challenge every day. And I make sure to share his one all the time because he motivates me. Yeah. Just this old dude getting after it in his living room. And people are growing, and I see new faces, and I try to share as much as I can, because that's what really keeps me going, is saying like, hey, people are buying into this. And I just want to set the example. I want to continue to do the right thing and train. And if it's helping somebody, why not? If it's as simple as, getting after it in your living room and training, and that helps somebody become a little bit more fitter and help them structure their life or help them build their self-esteem, then, why not do it?
So right now, I'm right in saying, are you in the Marine Corps? You're a Marine.
I am.
You're in the Marine Corps. And what's the kind of, can you give me a bit of background? Like, what's your day like? How are you? I take it you're doing the 500 burpees a day at the moment. You're doing the max.
I am.
You're doing the 500. What's your day like physically? And then you get back to your room and you've got to do 500 burpees. How are you balancing what you've got to do on a daily basis?
Yeah, so I wake up really early. Right now, I'm waking up at 4 a.m, and I hit my burpees first thing in the morning, and then not on every day, but maybe about every other day, 3 to 4 times a week. I do the physical training with the Marines here, so I lead the training, and that's usually, we'll do that in the evening time. Mm-hmm. And whatever it is, the daily tasks that we do from, and I can't get into specifics.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But you're active. You're active all day. So are you getting up at 4 a.m. and hitting and smashing out 500 burpees?
Yeah, and it's a really humbling experience, because and my thing is that I'm very transparent with people. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, no sweat, the Iron Wolf, this machine, he goes and he does burpees like, it's nothing. No, it's challenging, and I've always said that from the beginning. And it's not about doing it and it being easy. It's about like, how do you react when stuff is hard, when you have to wake up and you got to hold yourself accountable. Nobody's gonna know if you do the burpees or not. That's on you.
Yeah.
But I know, and I can't. If I said I was gonna do something, then I have to do it. It's gonna eat away inside me, and it's very humbling. There's some, like, this morning was a very tough workout. I woke up and I felt like I got hit by a truck. Yeah. We're on day, what's today, 11? Yeah, we're on day 11. So it's getting there. It's getting to that point where it becomes cumulative fatigue, and it starts to build on you because you're doing such a high volume. But once I get going and I start doing the burpees and I get loosened up, it's like, I could do this, I could power through. And the thing is that when I get done, I feel good. I'm like, all right, I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
I could go on and, you know, do my daily tasks. But the physical part is not that challenging. It's the mental part of, you know, continuously building that routine and having the discipline to train and go through this stuff on a daily basis and do it all over again. That's where it wears on you, because I like to work out, but hitting these kind of volumes, sometimes it's not necessarily fun. You know, it could get a little bit boring in a way.
Yeah. Great. What about do you hit the gym much, or are you pure body weight? What do you mix up your training, or how do you do it?
No, I'm a pure calisthenics guy. I
Yeah.
don't touch any weights. I haven't touched weights in about 10 years. If I do any kind of weighted stuff, I'll usually put on my body armor.
Okay.
And I'll do calisthenics with that, and like the basics: pull-ups, push-ups, dips, squats, you know, lunges, things like that. But I prefer calisthenics. It works for me. I get really good results, and I've one of the most important things is that I feel like it brings longevity to your training. You can train longer, injury-free.
Yeah, absolutely. When you are you familiar with the Iron Cowboy? You're obviously the Iron Wolf. Do you know the Iron Cowboy, James Lawrence? 50 Ironmans,
No.
50 days.
Oh, I saw his documentary where he did
Yeah. I
like
interviewed
30 triathlons or something in a
50,
day.
50
It's,
triathlons, 50 days in 50 states.
yeah,
Yeah. So, but
that's
when I interviewed him, he talked to me about when he got to sort of the past the halfway stage of doing that challenge, his body started craving it, because you think you might start tiring, but he started getting better. He started getting faster. Do you feel that on the challenges that you do? Do you think you're saying you're almost at halfway through July now? As July progresses, your body starts to crave it. It knows what it's going to be doing. It'll have adjusted to the amount of stress you're going to put it through every morning.
So it's funny you say that, because I did a similar challenge like that in 2018. I did it for a fundraising organization. It was called Burpees for Vets, and I did 22,000 burpees in the month of December, which comes out to 709 a day. But they were regular burpees. They weren't like, you know, for people that are watching not familiar, like the 2 pump, 3 pump, you know, the multiple pusher burpees, the Navy SEALs, and all the variations.
So
They were just
I'll just jump in. When you're saying pump, we would call it a press up. So we would
yeah,
call it, so when you're going down to do a burpee, how many you're doing press ups and then up?
yeah,
Yeah. How
yeah. I'm
many?
doing at least two to three,
2 to 3.
two to three press up the burpee.
Yeah, so you're doing 500 burpees a day at the moment, but in that, how many press ups are there?
Over 1,000 each workout.
So you'll cover 1,000 press ups and 500 burpees, and that's you done for the day at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's minimum. That's like, you know, standard baseline.
That's your standard. That's fantastic. So what did you do that 22,000?
Yeah, so the 22,000 was for the suicide awareness for veterans, and 22 stands. It was for the number of veterans that commit suicide a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to you know, get some awareness and raise that money. So I did 709 a day, and after that, about the 3-week mark, the last week, they felt so easy that I was doing them like without almost like warming up. I would like get out of bed, you know, do a couple of arm circles, you know, crank out 709 burpees and go about my day. That's when I was stationed in Japan. And plus it was super humid out there. And I just remember leaving a huge puddle every day when I was doing the burpees. But I do believe what you alluded to before, that your body kind of adjusts to the stress, because it's either going to break or it's either going to get stronger.
Yeah.
And the power of the mind is such a powerful thing. And if you're not scared and you're willing to embrace the pain and take on the adversity, your body will adapt, because you're not giving it a choice.
What are you like throughout the day for fuel? What are you eating? Are you eating a lot just to keep going so you know you're ready the next morning?
I do. I focus on hydrating first. To me, hydration is one of the most important things. A good amount of carbs. I eat a lot of oatmeal, since I don't have a kitchen here. Like I have to eat at the mess hall,
Okay.
whatever they serve us. So I got to be really picky at what I eat. So I have a few rules. Like I don't eat pork or beef. Just don't like how it makes me feel. I don't consume any dairy, any kind of chicken with and a starch, whether it be rice, potatoes, or noodles, pasta. I'm not afraid of carbs. I actually embrace carbs, and some kind of fruit, vegetable, and I love peanut butter. I think,
Yeah. Is that your treat?
yeah, yeah, peanut butter and a banana. That's like my go-to pre-workout snack.
Yeah.
But right now I'm training so early in the morning that I work out on an empty stomach. But on a regular basis during my training regimen, yeah, peanut butter, banana, like about an hour before, or maybe a cup of oats, something like that, and then I hit it hard. But yeah, it's real simple: a protein, a carb, and some fruits and vegetables, and that's it. And I try to stay away from anything that's oily, and I don't consume any sugar, especially now. Before, maybe I would consume, I don't know, like a cookie here and there whenever I felt like it. But now it's completely no sugar at all. And I don't crave it, to be honest.
You don't crave it. Has it ever been a craving? Did you ever have to work really hard in your diet, or have you always been, since you got into the military, really disciplined and you were on top of what you're eating?
I really got serious about it about 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
5 years ago when I started reading about performance and nutrition, because I think when you're younger, you just don't think about it, and you could burn everything off. Your metabolism is so quick, and you recover a lot quicker when you're younger too. So you don't take into those considerations that you have to really fine tune your nutrition, your recovery, your hydration in order for you to perform at a higher level, and especially as you get older.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you say 5 years. How long have you been in the military, and what was the route into the military like for you?
So I've been in the United States Marine Corps for 15 years. And the route to the military, like I said before, I needed some kind of direction. I wasn't really doing a lot with my life before I joined.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like I said, running around New York City, doing dumb stuff, really with no direction at all. And then I remember talking with my father, and he said, you need to do something with your life, because right now you're just wasting time. I remember that conversation like very specifically with him. And he said, you're just kind of wasting time. And he said, you need to do something for yourself, because before you know it, your life is going to pass you by, and you're going to regret wasting it, being a dumbass, pretty much. That's what he
Yeah.
So I said, okay, roger that. And at that time, I was going to a community college, which I was even like skipping school in community college. And, you figured this is like already a grown, 19-year-old kid. But going to a college that I was paying for, and I still wasn't going.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do school. I'm going to go join the military. I walked into the recruiting office for the Marines, and I said, I want to join. When can I leave? And about 2 weeks after I stepped into the recruiter's office, I went to a basic training boot camp.
Yeah. What was that like? What was day one in boot camp like?
A lot of yelling and a lot of chaos. So how it works, and you get bused to recruit depot in Parris Island, South Carolina, and as soon as you get off the bus, you got all these drill instructors, and they're just like yelling at you, and it's hectic. You get online and you're screaming. You don't know what the hell going on. You don't even know what time it is because you've been up for a while. And it was a very humbling experience, but I enjoyed it though, because I was finally like, hey, these people could kind of take control of me for a little bit and show me the right way to do it, because obviously I don't know how to do it the right way, and they could instill discipline and the obedience to orders and kind of break me down and build me back up. I was kind of relieved in a way that I didn't have to think for myself at that time a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of kid were you? Were you in good shape? Were you fit back then, or did they have to? When you say they broke you down, were you sort of just a young kid, naive, not strong, not built, or were you good to go?
I wasn't too athletic. I wasn't out of shape by any means, but I was definitely not like in shape for like the military.
Yeah.
So I got introduced to all the exercises, and I remember being sore, and I remember we were running. So 3 miles is the run, 5 kilometers, and I remember thinking like this is the longest run of my life.
Yeah, and no one's chasing you.
Now running five, yeah, now running 5 kilometers, I could roll out of bed and you know easily. But I just remember running. I remember getting to the halfway point, and I'm like, this is just the halfway point.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I could do this, but we made it through, and it was a good experience. I was a lot happier when I graduated, and my parents came down, and I could see, my father was, he was proud that I actually accomplished something, because before that I didn't accomplish anything. It was like disappointment after disappointment. I was consistent at at sucking at life. So
Yeah, you got your shit together. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
did get together.
What's
Absolutely.
with the Marines? Is that where you take on Hell Week?
No. Those are the
SEALs.
Navy SEALs.
That's the Navy SEALs. What's your comparison with the Marines?
So the Navy SEALs are a much higher, I guess, military force. They're considered like like special forces, like which you guys would have your SAS.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, on that level.
Okay. So what's the roughest thing you had to do in sort of the Marines start up to train to get ready?
Uh, so the training wasn't really the roughest things. I'd say like the roughest part of my Marine Corps career was deploying overseas to Afghanistan. Those were some of the really challenging times, because that's when you really get tested mentally and physically.
Yeah, and the mental side of things, did you adjust to that? Obviously, you can improve your fitness. You can learn to run 5K. You can learn to do the burpees and get across the assault courses. How did you adapt to the mental side of things when the guys are coming down on you, or it's pitch black, you're freezing cold, and you've got to keep headstrong? How did you adapt to that?
It's kind of like a natural instinct, and I believe in the fight or flight kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's almost like either you got it or you don't. And a lot of times you rely on your training, and one of the biggest motivators is the guy to the left and right of you, because you can't let them down. That's, I think, one of the biggest things that pushes us to be able to succeed, is not letting your partner down, because in the end it's really about them. It's never about you. And that's what kept me going, because I knew these guys meant everything to me, and they were my friends. And I could not think that if I did something that they wouldn't come home, or I would let them down. I would never be able to live that down.
yeah. And what do those guys think about you smashing out 500 burpees before they get up in the morning? Or are a lot of them doing it at the same time? Or are a lot of guys like savages like you, they're up doing extra before the day starts? What's the culture like?
The culture is very competitive.
Yeah.
All very athletic guys, and we train together. We train together as a team. Now, so not everybody does the 500 burpee challenge
Yeah.
with me. They all do their respective things, and I have a lot of guys that I've served that are not in the Marine Corps anymore,
Yeah.
and they've gone out and they've gone with their lives. But I see messages from a lot of guys that I served with, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not surprised that you're doing this," or like, "Yeah, we figured that you would do this." Because I always want to push it a little more. I always want to see like what's the tipping point, a little bit more, a little bit more. Oh, this was easy. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit harder, put a little different spin on it. Always happy but never satisfied.
Yeah. And tell me about, obviously you're the Iron Wolf. Where did that come from?
Okay, so the name Iron Wolf, my Marines used to call me Iron Man, because I would run physical fitness training for my unit. And I'd be like, this guy's like Iron Man because he never gets tired. We would like run through the mountain, we do pull-ups and press-ups and burpees, and with our body armor. And he's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? He's just like Iron Man. And then when I started my YouTube channel, I added wolf because I always liked the animal wolf and what it stood for. Number one, um, the wolf, it could operate by itself, like the lone wolf, and it's not afraid, but it also has the backing of the pack. So when it needs to be backed up, it's always there. And I really like the mentality of not being afraid to be by yourself, but always having your people to rely on when shit hits the fan, and you need that support. So, and then I combined those two names because the YouTube channel was not my idea, by the way. Let me tell you. Let's go back a little bit and explain to you how the actual channel came about.
7,000 to 8,000 subscribers later, you must be thinking it was a pretty good idea, though.
It was a suggestion from a close friend of mine that I served with in Afghanistan. He actually told me 2011. He's like, you should, in 2011, he's like, you should probably make a YouTube channel because the way you train is going to appeal to a lot of people. And I'm like, I don't want that stuff. Don't really care. Not my style. He's like, all right. He re-engaged me in 2019 is in August. Yeah, in August or July of 2019. That's when I posted my first video. And he's like, hey, I'm just saying, like, just post a video and see what happens. He said, you work out anyways. You might as well just record it and put it up there. It takes no effort. So I went and like created a YouTube account. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. All my first like 20 videos are are vertical. They're terrible, you know.
Yeah,
like
you've not got the widescreen. Yeah, cool. That's cool. Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, just see what happens. You know, do it for fun. If you don't like it, stop. So I started posting videos, and under the name Iron Wolf, I was like, oh, I gotta get a stabby name because I just don't want to use my full name because nobody could spell my last name anyway. It's long. I want something. I want some people to remember. So I just said, yeah, okay, Iron Man. Used to get called that a lot. Wolf, let's do it. Started posting, and yeah, here we are.
And that's now, do people like your fellow Marines, do they call you Wolf now or Iron Wolf? What do they call you?
They call me by my rank.
Oh, do they? Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
but
they call me by my rank, but some of the close ones, they do call me Wolf. Some of my peers, they call me Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me your rank? What rank are you?
I'm a Gunnery Sergeant.
Gunnery Sergeant. Okay. So that's So there's not, the guys below you aren't calling you Wolf. They're calling you by your rank.
Yeah, it's a lot of one-way conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bet. But one thing that I saw on your Instagram, there was a quote. It's a picture of a wolf, and a badass wolf. The tiger and the lion may be more powerful, but the wolf does not perform in the circus.
Yep.
You know, that struck me. That was strong. I mean, and I get it. You got the lone wolf mentality, because that's one thing. When you go out training or you go on patrol or whatever you're doing, you're with your pack. But when you are in your room on your own, it's you against you. You know, you are the lone wolf knocking out 500 burpees, 1,000 press up, whatever you're doing. To be able to go from such an extreme, lonely environment, you know, to adjust to be leading the pack or in the pack, can you go from that easily? Do you transition from just being in your own place and pushing yourself physically on your own to, right, I'm in the team now, I'm in the pack? Can you move between both quite comfortably?
I do, and I could tell you one of the most important things is you have to be able to lead yourself first. I've always believed that. How can you lead others when you don't know how to lead yourself? It's all about self-leadership first. You work on yourself and you polish those qualities of what you want to instill in other people or your followers. And then you show them by action, that intangible results. Hey, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, but let me show you how it's done. Let me set the precedence. Let me set the standard. I will lead and you will follow. So there's no question ever of what, like, hey, you know, this guy hasn't posted anything worth a damn, but he's telling me to do this and that, and he's such a great motivator, but I haven't seen him do shit. So that's why I really like to train by myself in solitude, because it instills confidence in me also, because this is me working with myself, and now I could carry that to other people, and I have credibility and I can speak from experience. I can tell you exactly what how the mind feels at rep 500. It's not a fun place with no music, you know, not sipping on any kind of sports drinks or anything like that. It's the most raw essentials. And I could relate to you now. You could tell me and I'd be like, I got you, brother. I know exactly how that feels. Yeah, me and you are the same. We struggle together. So now that builds a bond. It's all about building bonds and relationships. And that's really what the wolf pack is when I talk about the wolf pack. And it's not some cool, catchy phrase. It's you know, it's shared suffering. It's a journey that we go through together, and we all could relate to each other. Whether you're doing 500 burpees or you're at a novice level and 50 burpees, you know, crushes you. But I know how you feel on that 49th burpee if 50 is your max. It doesn't matter the number. I relate to the effort, to the feeling. Mm-hmm. And that's what really bonds us. That's what really, I think, bonds people and bonds leaders and followers is it's the idea and the understanding and the compatibility of what's going on.
Yeah. What are you like with people that you think aren't trying? They maybe aren't giving their best or they quit?
So 10 years ago, it would have been a very different conversation because I had a very, I don't want to use the word negative, but in a way it was almost, you know, hey, if you can't do this, that means you're not trying and you don't care. Now I'm a lot more patient, and sometimes I try to figure out what's the root of the problem of why these people aren't, you know, taking themselves to that level. And there could be a lot of underlying factors, but I always say, you know, there's always tomorrow. If you're breathing, you still got a shot. Give it a go again. And if it's important to you, then you're going to really polish it and make it your own. And maybe you have to take a look at it and say that, you know, it's not important to you. So maybe you should just stop wasting your time and find something that's really important to you. You know, it's not for everybody, and I understand that.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I do, and this is what I like to do. And you might try it out, and you might be good at something else. You might be good at computer programming or playing an instrument, or, you know, find whatever drives you, whatever makes you better, and whatever you enjoy. So you don't have to do 500 burpees to be a better person. You know, that's what I kind of want people to understand.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at have you ever looked at world records, burpee world records?
I have looked at burpee world records. Some of the form is it's a little off-putting to me of how they were doing it.
Uh-huh.
So I had like the thought, like, you know, maybe I should try to, you know, train for a world record. Now's not a good time here.
Okay.
Should I do it? Maybe, but would a world record be cool? Yeah, but that's really not the goal. You know, it's not really one of my priorities.
Okay. Well, away from the military, obviously, 2019, you say you started your YouTube channel, but now I see there's merchandise, there's hoodies, there's hats, there's a business there. There's a business in the background. Is this something you look to think after the military, something to sort of focus on once you get out of the military or whatever route you take, or is it just a sideline to just keep you busy? And how's that business going?
It's going well. So the hoodies and all the merch, yeah. I started getting a lot of requests from my followers because it's like, hey, can we get an Iron Wolf t-shirt? We want to represent. So I did some research and I found, you know, a company that makes that stuff. And once again, don't know what I was doing. You know, zero experience with this stuff. Never thought I'd be selling, you know, or making Iron Wolf t-shirts. Kind of got it together and pushed it. And, you know, I get a lot of support from people, and I'm very grateful for that. I don't know if I'm going to make it a business, but I said I'm gonna keep doing it till it stops being fun.
Okay.
And I lose interest. But, you know, the caveat to that is people, you know, I feel responsible because people follow this stuff, and, you know, they rely on the videos and, you know, the motivation, and they're interested in what I have to say, which is really humbling, to kind of have that, so many people listen and respond to everything that you put out. I've never, it's still new to me. I'm not an extrovert at all. I would never, if you would see me in the street, you'd probably just walk by me and be like, whatever, it's a regular guy walking down with his hat, looking down, not flamboyant or anything. But I just, to me, it's really special, and the opportunity to influence and train and have people walk away with this stuff. So far, I do see myself continuing it. If it's successful, then I'm very content with where it's going right now.
Yeah. Do you know, and how long are you still going to be on deployment for? Do you know when you're going home, or do you know how your tour is going to go?
Yeah, I do. I got a little bit left here,
Yeah.
probably till winter time.
Okay. And then you go home, you can work on the business. And are you running everything from where you are? Have you got someone back home that's sending out orders and all sorts of things?
It's all me.
Wow. Wow. Good on you.
It's
Well,
all, yeah. So you really got to discipline your day. Like, you got to structure it. All right, wake up, maybe 15 minutes to kind of look through the phone and share some stuff and maybe respond as much as I can. And then that's pretty much done for the whole day till I come back in the evening. And then maybe like, hey, I'm going to dedicate 30 minutes to kind of read and respond and, share. And right now it's challenging because I want to keep sharing people's stories for the month of July to keep it going and keep motivating them. And then, and then it's off to bed. And sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming, but yeah, I'm doing everything by myself. But I kind of like it because it keeps me really engaged with the people. And some people write really interesting things where they share a lot of stuff, where they say they had an illness and they're now recovering and now they're stronger, or they're working out with their kids, or a lot of guys are getting ready for military selection, so it helped them get in good shape so they could pursue their goals, or law enforcement, to mothers and daughters training, or just people that, guys and girls saying they were depressed, and that they train and they understand that physical fitness directly reflects to mental health, and it's helped them with their self-image. Yeah. It's just overwhelming, just stories and interesting. You kind of like, it's almost like meeting somebody new every day and finding out about them.
Yeah.
And I've never met these people. They're from all over the world. I got a message from a guy in Rwanda.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What about you reacted quickly to me, and I'm just a guy in Edinburgh, Scotland, and you came straight back to me and said, "Yeah, let's do it." It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
Why not? If I could do it, I'll do it. And I enjoy talking to people because I think we all have a connection. If you're following the page, then you want to be a little bit different and a little bit better than the next guy in a good and competitive way. Yeah. You want to have that edge, and I really relate to everybody that tries to be a little bit better. And it's not about competition with anybody else, but it's only competition with yourself, and you're only competing with your yesterday self. That's all you're doing. You're trying to evolve.
Yeah. Do you follow anybody? Does anyone motivate you? If I throw I'm sure you know them, but like Goggins or guys like that who have been through the military, yeah. And who motivates you?
I love David Goggins. I love Jocko. All those guys, Cameron Haynes, all that stuff is motivating to me, of course. But what really motivates me, to be honest, is my Marines, the young guys here that are far away from home, and they're 18 and 19 years old, and they're out taking care of business. That's what really motivates me, to see these young men, and women with taking on a lot of responsibility at their age, and going through the grind and trying to be better, and serving. To me, the regular folk, that's what motivates me. Just the everyday stories of people that go through some kind of adversity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you yourself, in your own head, in your own mind, I've spoken to a lot of retired well, Navy SEALs and Special Forces and SAS back here in UK. When your time does come to leave the military, do you worry at all about how you'll adjust, how you'll go back to civilian life and things like that? Have you considered that? Because a lot of people do struggle with it.
I have considered that because you're so structured and you're used to doing X, Y, and Z, and everything is, by the book, and policies and procedures and standard operating procedures.
Yeah.
And then when you kind of go, you're like, oh, like I can do what I want. I don't have any kind of structure. And I think I've always, like I said, I've always yearned for that discipline. And I am worried a little bit that I'm not going to have anybody to relate to or have that close community where you're having a bad day and you could just, pull your buddy aside and talk to him and he could relate automatically. It's just that sense of brotherhood. And I don't know if I'll get the same response out in the civilian world or, a corporate job. But I don't want to work for anybody after I get out of the Marines.
Well, I mean,
I want to work for myself.
But looking at what you've built in your brand in the Iron Wolf, I don't think you'll ever be on your own. There's people all around the world that would want to train with you. Or please, I mean, there's a business, and I don't know if you would want to do personal training or anything like that, or whatever you set up, but people will look at you and say, that guy can get me in shape. I think you'll be welcomed with open arms when you leave the military to what you've built in the structure. To hear that you're sending out merchandise while on active duty and getting up at 4 a.m. every morning, there'll be people that are dying to meet you. I think it's really exciting, the opportunities that you're building now. You're creating something now that you could walk into, or you don't have to walk into. You're in it when you leave the military. I think it's awesome.
As long as people want to train, I'm going to be there training with them. They said they just need to know that they're not alone. You always got, we say your battle buddy.
Yeah.
The guy to the left and right of you, your battle buddies. That's how I see these guys. I always want them to feel that, if they're having a rough day or they don't feel like it, they're going to turn on an Iron Wolf video. And there I am, telling you, go put in the work. I don't care if you're tired or you're sore, just do the work. Let's get it done together.
Wherever you end up, in whatever state you end up back home, there's going to be a lot of personal trainers in that area really worried when you start taking clients. If you go down that route, you start saying open for business, there'll be a lot of people going, yep, that's my guy. That's the guy. I've been following you for ages. Do you do any other sports? And I mean by that, do you martial arts, or are you a long distance runner, or have you done like triathlons or anything like that?
So I taught martial arts in the Marine Corps. I have two collateral duties. I'm a Marine Corps Martial Arts Instructor Trainer, and I'm a force fitness instructor. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Marine Corps martial arts, but it's a hand-to-hand combat martial art that the Marine Corps does. It's also a lot of weapons-based stuff, weapon retention with bayonets.
Okay.
A lot of holds, throws, chokes, pressure points, just a very combative style of martial arts. And then also a force fitness instructor. That's the Marine responsible to write and oversee physical fitness training programs for the unit and do it the right way.
Okay. So
the Marines are not doing whatever the hell they want, but like, hey, this is structured and organized. This is how you properly warm up, execute the workout, cool down, injury prevention, nutrition, recovery.
You're on it. You're looking after the guys. And what about, can I ask, with the background in military and martial arts? I think you're a UFC fan. Do you like watching UFC?
I do, yeah. I've been watching UFC for a very long time, since the days of Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn and Royce Gracie.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Ken Shamrock, and I saw today that you posted about Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, I'm a pro wrestling fan too. As I was as a kid, that kind of came to my mind why I posted it. Actually, I did my workout this morning, and I was doing my reps, and as you get fatigued, your form kind of starts to break down a little bit. It's just normal.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like, that saying came into my head, the excellence of execution. And I was like, you gotta tighten that shit up. People are watching. You got to do it right. You always practice it. So execute that shit the right way, all the way down. Don't shortchange it. And I just kept like every rep, I'm like, I'm gonna do it perfect. I'm gonna do it perfect. Proper press ups, proper burpees, like clean form. Every move is gonna be executed properly, crisp, clean, because it's a direct reflection of your work ethic and your attention. Anything.
I've lost you there.
And I got to give tribute to the Hitman for that.
That's it. I lost the connection a wee bit there, but it's all good. I'm a big wrestling fan as well. More back in the day with the Hitman and Billion Dollar Man, Jake the Snake, all these sorts of guys. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, legends of the pro game.
Yeah, all the pro wrestling stuff I love growing up. Are larger than life. I wanted to be a pro wrestler when I was a young kid.
I think I've been told by his manager that I'm getting Jake the Snake Roberts on this show around Christmas time. So I'll be looking forward to that.
You're getting some real celebrities here. I'm like chump change.
That's the beauty of it. I mean, I'm sitting in my house at the moment recording this, but that's the great thing about that. I've got the control. I can go to whoever I follow or whoever inspires me, and I can to see you working as hard as you do on Instagram, and then to message you and get the chance to speak to you. That takes me in my mindset even closer to you to the point of that every time I see you, I've got to start training or I've got to work out when I'm going to get my session in, you know? So I've actually spoken to you. You'll be on my podcast, and hopefully, I don't know how many people in the UK are familiar with what you do, but when this starts getting downloaded and everything like that, hopefully it inspires other people, you know?
Yeah, I got some fans in the UK. I got some fans, and you look like you're in good shape. What do you do, if you don't mind me asking? What's your discipline?
Well, it's a lot of. I've got pull-up rings, a lot of calisthenics. You know, I don't have a gym membership or anything like that. I've got stuff in my in the garage. It's all home. I've got a big tire in the front garden, so it's just stuff like that. It's just physical. But I've got 3 kids under 6, a business, and all sorts of things. So it's just getting the time and getting it done. But no, I love it. It's great.
Yeah, calisthenics are king. I always used to say I love calisthenics, and I was sort of trying to spread. And I know the guys on the bars are really big, you know, the muscle ups and all the handstand and the dips. But I really wanted to show this side of calisthenics that doesn't get talked about a lot is, you know, the groundwork, the burpee game, because that's gonna raise your fitness level better than anything else. I challenged somebody to do 500 Navy SEAL burpees, and tell me they don't get a good workout and about like the physical and the mental stuff that it puts you through. No rest too. Running in place. No walking around. You know, up and down. You know, put it in that work. And I love what it brings about you, because you really find out a lot about yourself when you're to that point. You know, prepare to meet yourself for the first time.
Yeah, that's it, Wolf. Well, that's inspiring. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know you're busy. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this. What time is it where you are?
It's 9:45.
9:45. So wake up tomorrow, get them burpees in, just keep going.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll be doing a live workout on YouTube. We're doing by the numbers, really strict military style burpees. Every Sunday I try to. That's kind of the day where I kind of control my schedule a little bit. So Sunday night, I hit burpees live on YouTube with the Wolf Pack. People come and they'll do the burpees with me live, and I run the workout, and that's kind of been a thing for a little bit. And you know, you get a lot of people just training together, and then I try to read their comments, and that's when I try to answer some of their questions, because people are like, where do I start, or what do I eat, or like, and I was like, hey, this is what worked for me. I could only talk about from my experience. I'm not a theorist. I'm a practitioner. And this is what works for me. Try it. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Try something else.
That's it. It's awesome. Well, here, mate, you're inspiring. Keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for reaching out.
No problem. You take care, all right?
All right, brother.